All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing tonight? We're getting ready to start the stream in another minute. Y'all get up in here. Everybody get up in here. Let me go to the Facebook really quick, y'all. Go share the stream. Give me a second. Get up in here. Hit that like button as soon as you get up in the stream, man. Let me know if you like these videos. I'm going to go and try to go share the stream right now over to our Facebook page. Hit that like button as soon as you get up in here, man. Stream's about to start soon. Yes, hit that like button as soon as you get up in here. We're going to start in another minute. We're getting ready to start. Hope everybody's ready for this one. Don't forget, like the video if you're here right now. If you like these types of videos, if you like the page, if you like 16 bars, you like classic hip hop, hit that like button down below. Shout out to G Mafia. Brooklyn in the house. All right. Sharing everything to our social media pages. Hope everybody is ready to go. Hit that like button if you're in the stream right now. All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing, man? Welcome to another Talking Barz. Happy Thursday to everybody. If you're in the chat right now, I need you to hit that like button. If you're in the chat, drop a comment. Tonight, we're going to be having a really good conversation, man. If you're watching this video later on, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to share the video, man. Get up in the chat, yo. Today, we're going to be talking about Verzuz and Hip Hop 50. Today, we're going to be having a conversation about hip hop turning 50 years. Shout out to hip hop. And we're going to be talking about Swizz Beatz and Timbaland dropping the ball when it comes to Verzuz. I need y'all to get in the chat today. I need y'all to get up in there. Let me know. I want y'all to drop your comments tonight. Is Verzuz done? Is that it for Verzuz? Can Verzuz make a comeback? Hit the chat down below. I see Blocker is in the building. I see Tammy's in the building. Shout out to Tammy, yo. Tammy birthday. Happy birthday, Tammy the Leo. Y'all drop some happy birthdays in the chat for Tammy. Tammy's birthday. Shout out to Tammy. Go follow Full Blast Radio, all right? Go follow Full Blast Radio. DJ Tiger has a new video celebrating Hip Hop 50. I think it already came out. It was premiering yesterday. Go check that video out. DJ Tiger got another video he just dropped with some old school DJ Premier. Ooh, Premier. So go check that out, all right? Go follow Full Blast Radio. Go to Instagram. Follow Tammy the Leo's channel. Happy birthday, Tammy. Jason's in the building. Jason says, what up, Playboy? Thanks for sending the vinyl. My bad, being late. That's right, yo. Y'all know we always try to do giveaways here on the show. Our last giveaway, we had a vinyl record that was done by Slick Blast. What's his name? Slick Blast. I'm gonna give y'all his name. He's on Instagram, and we gave away the vinyl. The winner was Jason. Jason got his vinyl. Jason said, my bad being late. Thank you. You've been running around with Red. Shout out to Red McFly. Shout out to Take Flight Society. They out there doing it big. They just crushed Music Fest, and then they crushed the after party. Jason got all the videos. Go check the videos out on Jason's page, man. Jason said, we're doing a back to school. That's right. Take Flight Society, Red McFly, they're doing a back to school giveaway, y'all. All right, so go to Instagram. Go to Instagram after this is done. Go to Red McFly's page. Go to Jason's page. They're doing a back to school giveaway. Go in there and see what they got. Support. All right, shout out to Jason, man. Jason says, happy 50th birthday to hip hop. Hip hop saved my life. Tammy says, oh, thank you. Shout out to Tammy. Happy birthday again. Blocker says, Verzuz better come back. All right, Blocker wants Verzuz back. Tammy says, is your nickname Pop? Jason. Shout out to Jason. Nicholas McFarlane is in the building. Nicholas, thanks for coming through. Listen, y'all, I need y'all tonight. I need y'all to hit the chat. I need y'all to drop a comment. Is Verzuz done? Have we seen the end of Verzuz? That's what I want. That's what I want y'all to comment on tonight. Have we seen the end of Verzuz? And we're gonna talk about Timbaland and Swizz Beatz dropping the ball with Hip Hop 50 turning 50 years. We're gonna talk about that tonight. Drop in the comment section. I need to drop two things. Is Verzuz done? And I need y'all to give me your top 3 wish lists. Who do y'all want to see next Verzuz? Drop it in the comments. All right, so yo, this is a comment. This is a Swizz Beatz and Timbaland did a interview recently, and this was the interview asked them, what do you think? What do you and Timbaland have in store for the future of Verzuz? Was the question they asked. And Swizz and Timbaland replied, we've been changing the infrastructure because when we started, it happened in the garage and then moved to a significant platform. Remember, Verzuz started off on Instagram, and then they started doing the Thriller, they started doing the other platforms, so they went on to Apple for a while, so they moved up. That's facts. He says, now we changed the whole way we're moving, but not entirely, so people won't feel like it's not the same. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, man. Hold on, my bad. Let me get my water. At the same time. Hold up. Let me get my water, yo. Let me get my water. I forgot to hit the button over there. My bad. Let me get back to it. Hold up. So Swizz Beatz said, now we changed the whole way we're moving, but not entirely. So people won't feel like it's not the same. We have a fantastic lineup with people they wanted to see, and even battles they think wouldn't happen. Remember, a lot of us think Lil' Kim is not going to happen. A lot of us think Missy's not going to happen. 50 Cent's not. All right. Announcement will be coming soon. So this is what Swizz Beatz and Timbaland had to say about Verzuz. They said that announcements are coming soon. But I want to talk to you guys about Verzuz today. Okay? And I want to remind you guys of the amazing performances that we had on Verzuz. I want to remind you guys of what Verzuz was and what Verzuz turned into. Okay? You guys got to remember, when Verzuz first started off, it was on Instagram. It was one artist at his home, the other artist at their home. When Verzuz first started out, there was technical difficulties. It worked, but it got better. All right? They went down to Jamaica. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer were the first 2 artists to be in the same room. Remember, they went to I think it was Chongan Studio, some studio. They went to a studio in Jamaica, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer. They had a crowd in there. That was the first Verzuz that we had in the same room. Everybody loved it. From that moment on, everybody loved Verzuz. Verzuz turned into a phenomenon. Everybody was looking forward to Verzuz, and then Verzuz went into they went into venues, they went into stadiums. Remember, was it Eve and Trina? Eve and Trina did a venue in LA. Eve was over in the UK. We had Brandy and Monica at 2 different venues. We had Jeezy and Gucci at the strip club. So Verzuz turned into this mega hit. I want you guys to remember the height that Verzuz was at when Verzuz was at its peak. There were a lot of people early in Verzuz saying, I don't want to do a Verzuz, I don't care about Verzuz. And then you had guys asking for $1 million to do a Verzuz. Okay, so let's remember where Verzuz started and where Verzuz went. I see JK number 5 is in the building. JK number 5, thanks for coming through. Don't forget, y'all, today is Tammy the Leo's birthday. I need y'all to hit the chat, drop a happy birthday for Tammy, wish her happy birthday, wish her many, 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 many more years. Put some bottles in the air, take a shot for her, all that, man. Smoke, do whatever, man. Say happy birthday. Tammy's in the chat, Tammy the Leo. Go follow her page on Instagram and go follow her show, Full Blast Radio, all right? Shout out to Tammy. Happy birthday again. So, Jason got a comment. Jason says, it's done. And I got a comment from Jason, too. I'm going to put up there. Jason says it's done because it's too long of a delay. My top 3 I want to see is Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown. Foxy gonna rip that girl apart. Listen, okay. Y'all know I love me Lil' Kim. Y'all know. I think Lil' Kim's hardcore album is the greatest female hip-hop album of all time. I love you, Lauryn Hill. I love the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Fantastic album. I love you, Foxy, Il Nana. But when it comes to albums, we all know Lil' Kim Hardcore is the greatest female hip-hop album of all time. No disrespect to nobody else. No disrespect to Eve. Philly, I see you, Eve. That was a hell of an album, Eve. I love you. But you ain't touching hardcore. MC Light, Queen Latifah, y'all know, you're not touching this album. You're not. But if Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown does a Verzuz, Foxy is gonna tear that girl. All right. So Jason says he want to see Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown. Nori versus Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel is going to... Yo, Jason, stop playing, man. Beanie versus... Nori's my man. Nore. I got a signed copy of that album. I have that album. I have a signed copy. All right, he was doing a signing here on Jamaica Avenue when the album came out. I have a signed copy of Nori's album. Beanie Siegel has 3 of the best albums back to back. All right. Jason says he wants to see Nori versus Beanie Siegel and Lloyd Banks versus Cassidy. I like Lloyd Banks. Shout out Jamaica Queens. I'm in Jamaica Queens. Shout out Southside. Southside's right next to me. I love Lloyd Banks. I don't think Lloyd Banks makes a proper Verzuz. I think Lloyd Banks, his demeanor. Okay. Let me rephrase it. Lloyd Banks can do a Verzuz. I just think that you have to get the right person to versus Lloyd Banks. Okay, if we're gonna do a Lloyd Banks Verzuz, we have to get the right person to go against Lloyd Banks. Because if you get a guy that's too hyped like Cassidy is super hyped. Cassidy gonna be. Lloyd Banks is more laid back, so I don't think that's a good matchup. But shout out to Cassidy, shout out to Lloyd Banks. So, Michael Buffer. If you don't know who Michael Buffer is, if you know who Michael Buffer is, you know how popular, you know the height of you know the money that Michael Buffer gets paid to just say, ladies and gentlemen, he gets paid just to say that. And remember, he has not done a Verzuz, but he has appeared on Verzuz. Did Verzuz miss the opportunity of the 50-year celebration? Now remember, when you look at what's going on right now, at the height of Verzuz was doing something perfect. Verzuz was giving you shows in the stadiums. Okay, remember when they came to New York? Locks versus Dipset? You can buy a ticket, go to the stadium, go to the venue, watch the Verzuz live. If you're not living in the town, you don't want to spend all that money to come to New York, you could turn on your phone, go on Instagram, and watch the Verzuz. So it felt like you were there. Or if you had a big screen TV, you could go on Apple TV, or you can go on Thriller, and you could watch the Verzuz. Verzuz was doing something unique. If you look at what's going on right now with Hip Hop 50, there's a lot of shows going on. We got Wu-Tang Clan is doing performances. Nas is doing performances. Fat Joe is out there doing performances. Shout out to Nelly and Ashanti too for getting back together. They're out there doing shows right now. LL Cool J is doing Hip Hop 50 shows. Lauryn Hill was out there with Nas. Ice Cube is doing shows. Snoop Dogg is doing some venues as well. Look at MC Shan. MC Shan, a classic old school hip hop artist, just said what he said, but he made up with Nas. So we might be seeing MC Shan out there doing some Hip Hop 50. Busta Rhymes is out there doing Hip Hop 50 shows. Jay-Z has his Brooklyn Museum thing going on over there. And like I said, 50 Cent is bringing out everybody and their moms to his shows. So what Hip Hop 50 is doing is great. It's amazing. We got all these shows we can pay and go to. What about the people that cannot afford the tickets? What about the people that cannot come to New York or go to some of these states to see these shows? When we had Verzuz, all we had to do was turn on Instagram. Remember how you felt when Verzuz was about to start and you turned on Instagram and Verzuz and you were home dancing? Where were you when the Locks went against Dipset? I know I live in New York. I know I couldn't afford those tickets. Where were you when that went down? You were in your home, right? Watching it, dancing, laughing, having a ball. How much money could Swizz Beatz and Timbaland be making right now, putting together Verzuz matchups every week, promoting Hip Hop 50? Hit the comment section, y'all. I want to hear from y'all tonight. Is Verzuz done? Have we seen the end of Verzuz? Also, I want to hear who are your top 3 Verzuz so far. All the Verzuz we got, drop me your top 3. And also, I want you guys to tell me, who is your dream Verzuz? Who do you want to see match up? Iman is in the building. Harlem is here, yo. Shout out to Harlem. G Mafia is in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, baby, baby. G Mafia is here. Shout out to G Mafia, man. Don't forget, y'all. Today is Tammy the Leo's birthday. She's in the chat. Go follow her page on Instagram. Go follow her YouTube show. Go follow Full Blast Radio. She got an amazing show with an amazing cast. Go follow DJ Tiger. He's dropping mixes almost every day. He's doing a Hip Hop 50 tribute video. Go check it out. Drop a happy birthday for Tammy the Leo in the chat. Tammy has a comment. Let me read Tammy's comment here. Let me read the birthday girl's comment. Tammy says, I'm going to ask Lil' Kim's brother about the... Woo! Woo! Hold up, Tammy. Hold up. Now listen, y'all. Y'all know I don't like to be disrespectful, right? Y'all know I was around 1996 when Lil' Kim's album came out, and then a week later, Foxy Brown's album came out. I bought both albums, okay? I got both albums. I was here. I listened all the way through Lil' Kim's Hardcore. I listened all the way through Il Nana when I got the CDs. I think Lil' Kim is an amazing artist. Lil' Kim has bars. Lil' Kim knows how to spit. A lot of artists don't know how to rhyme. A lot of y'all out there saying a whole bunch of gibberish. Lil' Kim can rhyme. Lil' Kim is a fashion icon. She changed the game when it comes to fashion, when it came to... Let me tell y'all, I never seen nobody wearing Moschino until Lil' Kim wore the Moschino belt. When Lil' Kim... Am I pronouncing it right? Moschino? Moschino. Whatever. Y'all know what I mean. When Lil' Kim wore that Moschino belt in that video, every female... I don't think it was real what they were wearing out here either. I'm just saying. Every female in Queens started wearing Moschino, okay? When Foxy Brown wore Christian Dior, all right, when Foxy Brown started rocking the CD on her belt and the CD on her clothes, nobody knew what it was. So shout out to the ladies. Shout out to Lil' Kim for being a fashion icon. But I'm going to tell you guys, Foxy Brown is nothing to play with. Go listen to her rhymes. Go listen to her rhyme schemes. Go watch the people that she came up with. Nas, The Firm, Jay-Z, Rockefeller. Go watch who these ladies... Lil' Kim came up with Biggie, Junior Mafia, Bad Boy Records. These ladies are not to be played with. I don't think Lil' Kim wants to do a versus. I think Lil' Kim thinks that she is too big of an artist to battle anybody else. That's my personal thought. The only reason Lil' Kim hasn't done a versus, well, there's two reasons. They haven't offered her enough money yet. And I think she thinks, even Missy, Lil' Kim thinks that she is too big of an artist to battle anyone else. Lil' Kim will do a versus. When they come with the right money, Lil' Kim will do a versus. But again, I'm Team Foxy. All right, so let me go back to Tammy's comment. Tammy says, I'm gonna ask Lil' Kim's brother about the verses. You know that's my little boyfriend. Shout out to Tammy. Happy birthday, Tammy Leo. Hit the happy birthday in the chat, yo. G Mafia in the Brooklyn, in the building. G Mafia says, in the building, baby. Rest easy to Chino, DeVec, Junior Mafia, Clinton Hills, Fulton, stand up. Rest in peace. Also, rest in peace to Magoo. The news dropped recently, so rest in peace to Magoo as well. So shout out. Thank you, G Mafia. Thank you for that. Iman has a comment. Iman says, is the Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri still going down? Iman, you asking the wrong person, man. I definitely want to see that. If Bad Boy Records goes against So Def Records, y'all know I'm going Bad Boy, right? Y'all know I'm team New York, right? Y'all know I'm team New York, right? I'm going Bad Boy Records. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. Let's talk about some numbers, y'all. And I know some of you guys out there did not think that Verzuz was popular. There are some people that believe that Verzuz wasn't making money. There are some people that thought Verzuz was whack. Omarion versus Mario was one of the biggest verses. Here's the numbers. Now remember, on Verzuz, you could watch Verzuz on, back then you could watch it on Instagram, you could watch it on YouTube, and you could have watched it on the Thriller app. Remember, Thriller started to charge for Verzuz. I think it was $5.99 or something like that, or $3.99. But there was multiple places you could watch Verzuz. Okay, so total viewers for the Mario versus Omarion, Thriller, the Fight app, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Over 5 million viewers. 5 million. Now, you have to understand that when you go to a concert, there's not that much seats in a stadium. You know, there are people out there filling up stadiums. Yeah, Beyonce is filling up. Shout out to Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy out there working hard in the summer. Blue Ivy out there selling out stadiums. You selling out stadiums. Most stadiums are 80,000, 50,000, 60,000. 5 million viewers. And you had peak concurrent viewers across all platforms. You had almost 1 million people at one time watching. That's crazy numbers. And you gotta put into effect also, they were matching up with Pepsi. They were doing cross promotions with Doritos. So take into effect all the sponsorships that they were getting. Verzuz was making money. And like I said to you guys, when you look at Hip Hop 50 right now, you look at all these shows these guys are doing, Omarion versus Mario was sold out. That was a sold out venue. Some of those tickets were going for like $1,000 or more for a sold out venue. But you still had people like me that didn't want to travel. All I had to do was turn on my phone. All I had to do was go to my TV, go to the Thriller, go to the Fight app, pay that $3.99, and I can watch Verzuz for the comfort of my home. Think about right now why Hip Hop 50 is going on. Swizz and Timbo could have set up a battle. Look at MC Shan right now. MC Shan is getting at Nas. Well, they made it. Him and Nas made up. Timbaland and Swizz could have set up MC Shan, set him up with somebody else, put together a Verzuz, put some money in MC Shan's pockets while Hip Hop 50 is going on. So you're killing two birds with one stone. You're celebrating MC Shan, Hip Hop 50. Shout out to MC Shan. And you're also putting money in artists' pockets, giving them a Verzuz platform. The question we asking today is, I'm sad to say it, man, is Verzuz dead, y'all? Have we seen the end of Verzuz? Remember this one? Oh, man. Rest in peace to Pimp C. Shout out to 8 Ball MJG. Now listen, I like UGK. I think UGK is cool. UGK is cool. But I was so happy to see another one of my favorite groups, 8 Ball MJG, perform. Imagine right now Hip Hop 50, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland put together a nice small show with 8 Ball and MJG and another group. Is Swizz and Timbo missing out by not having performances celebrating Hip Hop 50? Hit the chat down below. Tammy has a comment. Tammy says, I like RZA and Primo. That was a good battle. Shout out to Primo. Listen, I love Primo. I love RZA. Y'all know I love Wu-Tang. Y'all know I love Wu-Tang. That was one of my favorite battles, y'all. So Tammy says, I like RZA and Primo. That was a good one. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer. I think Beanie Man and Bounty Killer was the most important Verzuz. Because like I said, Verzuz was still stuck in the home when they first started. Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, when they came together and did that Verzuz, that was one of the best performances, because they were both going at each other on that Verzuz. And again, they changed the structure of what Verzuz was. So Tammy says, RZA Primo, that was a great one. Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, that was a great one. And EWF versus Isley Brothers, that was a good one too. Shout out to the Isley Brothers, man. Yo, what's his name? He's still mad smooth, yo. He's still mad smooth with his cane. He had on the ill suit. Ooh, thank you for that, Tammy. That was some good Verzuz. I still think Beanie Man, Bounty Killer is still in my top 3 Verzuz, yo. I love that Verzuz. Thank you for that, Tammy. Blocker says, me too, man. If that Verzuz happens, I'm going with Onyx. Wait, that was at Iman. What Iman said? Hold up. Iman has a comment. Iman says, I still want to see Onyx versus Cypress Hill. I think, I don't know if it's free now, but I know the Fight app had it. So if you want to watch the Onyx versus Cypress Hill, I think you can still go to the Fight app or to the Thriller app, and you can still pay for it. That's one I haven't watched either. Iman, thank you for that. Jason says it was $2.99. So look at that. Look at that. Hold on. Let's pause right here. So remember, the Fight app and the Thriller app, you can watch the Verzuz live. And Jason said it was $2.99, right? $2.99. Some of these Hip Hop 50 shows going on right now, easily $100 or more. Some of them $75. Most of them are $100 or more. Rock the Bells, LL Cool J, $100 or more. You telling me I could stay in my house, grab my popcorn, get my Tito's and my Hornitos tequila, chill with the lights low, turn my stereo up, and watch a show for $2.99. Thank you for that, Jason. Let me see what else going on in the chat. Tammy also says Ghost and Ray. Oh, I got a Ghost and Ray for you. Hold up. Talking about Ghost and Ray. Hold up. I know some of y'all hip hop heads out there be coming up in the chat. Some of y'all hip hop heads be out there. If you don't know what album this is, I don't want to hear from y'all. Thank you, Tammy. If you don't know what album this is, go do some research. Verzuz has some of the illest matchups. So today I'm asking you guys, we haven't seen them in a while. Is Verzuz dead? I need y'all to give me your dream matchup. Who do you want to see do a Verzuz? What made Verzuz so popular? Why was Verzuz such a hit? One of the things I love about Verzuz is that it catered mostly to the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Verzuz was catered to a specific era in hip hop. And y'all know I'm not too fond of the new generation hip hop. I think the new generation hip hop, the way they're creating music, the way they're selling music, the way they're putting music together, I think they're not putting enough effort into what they're doing. That's why some of the music sounds so throwaway, because they're not. If you think about back in the 90s, a lot of artists had record labels, they had a company they were under, they would go to the studio, they would practice, they would be in there writing, they would go up against some of the other great artists. So you had to be nice. You had to really practice, hone your skill to put an album out. People weren't putting albums out just like that back in the 90s. You had to rewrite, go in the studio, go in the booth, promo, put out the single before the album comes. So there was a lot of stuff going into music back then, which made music so pure. Now people are just releasing anything they want at any time without even the quality testing it. But I love that Verzuz kept it in an era. Mary Mary and BB versus BB and CeCe Winans, that was another great Verzuz. And again, that show was also sold out. If you wanted to go to the show, you could have gone to the show, pay your little $300, $400, sometimes even in the thousands. I remember that show in New York City, in the Garden, Dipset versus the Lox. People were paying some thousands of dollars for those tickets. $1,000. But you could still watch it at home. You could still go onto the Apple app. You could still go onto the Fight app, pay $3 and watch it at home. That was the beauty of Verzuz. Shout out to 3-6 Mafia. Rest in peace to the amazing Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo was like when Gangsta Boo came out, her energy, there was something pure. There was something pure and something natural about Gangsta Boo. I'm a New Yorker. I listen to a lot of New York music, but I bought a lot of albums from other states too. Remember, Master P and them was crushing it. Hot Boys was crushing it. So Outkast was crushing it. So I used to always go to Jamaica Ave, buy my CDs, and the guy that worked there would always tell me, yo, some new artist, new CD here. And I would check out different stuff. When I first heard Gangsta Boo, I didn't know what she looked like, but the energy that she had on her music, it captivated me. And she put out her energy out to the world, and I think Gangsta Boo is gonna forever be remembered because of who she was. It felt like she was honest to me. It felt like she was honest to hip hop. When you hear her talk about music, when you see her perform, when you see her she did a freestyle in the basement, Tigger the basement. When you see her doing interviews, she seemed always pure to hip hop, and like she just loved hip hop as a genre. So rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. Today I'm asking you guys, man, the question: his Verzuz gone, man. His Verzuz done. We're celebrating hip hop 50 right now. Did Swizz and Timbo drop the ball? G Mafia says Gangsta Boo. Where them dollars at? Fire 1998 25th anniversary. Shout out G Mafia, Brooklyn. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. Iman has a comment. Iman says, an R. Kelly versus. Yo, Iman, you crazy, yo. Iman says, an R. Kelly versus Usher would have been good. Listen, man. Honestly speaking, I really don't know who can go up against R. Kelly. No. Let's really be honest, guys. R. Kelly was a very talented artist. Almost everything that R. Kelly touched was classic. Chocolate Factory, the double CD with the black, the red, white, and black, the R. Kelly double CD. Everything R. Kelly touched. The best of both worlds with Jay-Z. Ooh, girl, you know you got a body, yada yada yada. Everything, the Trapped in the Closet movies that he did with the Isley Brothers, everything that R. Kelly touched was dynamite, yo. I like Usher. I think Usher is cool. Shout out to Keke Palmer. You played yourself. But I think Usher is cool. But Iman, I don't see anybody taking down R. Kelly, man. R. Kelly was nice, yo. I know he got himself in some stuff, you know, but R. Kelly was nice. Go look at his discography. Thank you for that, Iman. JK number 5 says, Brandy Unleashed songs versus Chris Brown Unleashed songs would be crazy. Shout out to Brandy. Who Brandy did the verses against? Was it Brandy? Was it Brandy and Monica? That was an ill verses. So today we're talking about, y'all, I need you to drop a comment in the comment section. Is Verzuz gone? Think of all the things that Verzuz brought forward and pushed. Merch. Verzuz brought back merch. I know merch is still around. Everybody does merch. But look at the merch that Verzuz was doing. They were doing CDs. They were doing the face-offs on the merch. Think of all the things that Verzuz was doing. This right here was amazing to me. When they started saying, yo, who's coming up next, and they gave you the silhouette, and you had to guess. You had to guess who you thought it was. I mean, this one right here, if you were old school, most people that from the old school, we kind of guessed who that was right away. But think of all the innovative things that Verzuz did. Think of all the innovative things that Verzuz can do right now while hip hop is celebrating hip hop 50 years. And by the way, if you don't know what this silhouette is right here, all right, if you don't know, I mean, most of us knew, most of us hip hop heads, we automatically knew who it was. But that was the Big Daddy Kane versus KRS versus. One of my favorite verses. I love Big Daddy Kane, love KRS-One, two of my favorite MCs, spitters, bars, showmanship, crowd presence, classic tracks. Say what you want. Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One was one of the best verses out there. Blocker has a comment. Blocker says, I love Wu-Tang Clan too, man. I'm a huge Method Man fan. Shout out to Method Man. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says, JK number 5, I don't know if you remember Get Money and Ain't No, both granted Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, the first females with multiple hits, although with male partners, Biggie and Jay, along with solo careers. Shout out to Lil' Kim, man. Shout out to Foxy. If you look back at early in Lil' Kim's career, Lil' Kim was mentored by the notorious B.I.G., Bad Boy Records, and that whole Junior Mafia family. Foxy Brown was running around with Jay and Rockefeller. She was also running around with Nas and The Firm. So those two females, those two, Foxy and Lil' Kim. Listen, man, everybody wants to see that Verzuz. Everybody wants to see Lil' Kim versus Foxy Brown. Neither Lil' Kim or Foxy Brown wants to lose in a 20 versus 20 songs. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. When the money is right, when they offer both of those two sisters $1 million each, when the money is right, they are going to sign that contract. They are going to find a venue somewhere in New York, Apollo, Madison Square Garden. You have to put this in New York. The tickets are going to sell out within 10 minutes. And it's going to crash Verzuz. If Lil' Kim versus Lil' Kim has millions of fans, Foxy Brown has millions of fans. If Lil' Kim versus Foxy gets announced, Verzuz will go through the roof. G Mafia Brooklyn, thank you for the comment. Thank you for the comment, JK number 5. Fresh Boyardee Entertainment is in the building. Shout out to Fresh Boyardee Entertainment. Don't forget, y'all, if you in the chat right now, drop a happy birthday for Tammy the Leo. Today's her birthday. Hit her up right now in the chat. Give her a happy birthday. Don't forget to go follow her show, man. She got a show, all right? Full Blast Radio. Go subscribe to Full Blast Radio. If you like great conversations about hip hop, man, she got a great show. Go check out her show. Go check out her partner, DJ Tiger. If you like hip hop mixes, an hour, 2 hours long, an hour and a half long, go check out Full Blast Radio. You're going to get everything you need. Go to Instagram. Go follow Tammy's page, all right? Y'all wish a happy birthday in the chat right now. Fresh Boy RD says, they ran off with the bag. Let me pause there. Whoa. Let me pause there. Thank you, Fresh Boy ID Entertainment. Let me pause there. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. I forgot about that, Fresh Boy ID. Thank you for reminding me. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. Y'all played yourselves. And listen, y'all. I don't like washing people's pockets, man. I don't, man. I don't. I know. We as an adults, we got to take care of our families. We as an adult, we got to think about our kids, take care of ourselves, put food on the table. Some of us even go further and we think about our kids' kids and our kids' kids, generational wealth. I get it. I get it, y'all. Listen, y'all. I get it. Everybody wants to make money. I get it. $25 million y'all sold Verzuz for? 15 a piece? No, that's 12 a piece. 12.50. My math is crazy. 12 million a piece? I don't like watching people's pockets. Timbaland, you've been around since the 90s. You don't got 12 million in the bank? Swizz Beatz, you got a camel racing team in Saudi Arabia right now. You've been making music since the early 90s, Swizz Beatz. You have classic records with, rest in peace, one of the greatest MCs of all time, DMX. You've done movies. Swizz Beatz, you are producing music for The Godfather of Harlem, which is on Showtime. Is it on Showtime or Epix? One of those two. You don't got $12 million? Y'all gonna go sell Verzuz for $25 million? Y'all played yourselves. I don't want to count nobody's pockets, man. I don't want to count nobody's pockets. 12 million is a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. But when you think of what Verzuz did for the people, when you think of all those millions and millions of people that tuned into Verzuz every time Verzuz came on, Twitter went crazy when Verzuz came. I don't know if you guys notice. Every time a Verzuz gets announced, whoever the artists are that are going to be performing, their stream numbers go up. I don't know if y'all know this. After a Verzuz is finished, the next day on Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, the stream numbers go up. Verzuz was a cultural phenomenon, not just in America. Trina and Eve did a Verzuz. Eve was in the UK. Eve was in the UK. Trina was in wherever Trina was, LA or wherever she was. And they did a Verzuz. One of the best Verzuz, Beanie Man Bounty Killer, was in Jamaica. Verzuz was a universal phenomenon. Y'all sold that for $25 million? You played yourselves, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to count nobody's pockets, man. Thank you for the comment, man. We got Kevin Gregory in the building. Kevin Gregory, thanks for coming through. Kevin has a comment. Kevin says, last Verzuz season 2 was Omarion versus Mario. I love that Verzuz. That was a pretty good Verzuz. I think Mario won that Verzuz to me, but that was a great Verzuz. Another one of my favorite Verzuz, Ja Rule and Fat Joe. Listen, I know a lot of people went with Ja Rule for that Verzuz, but listen, man, I had Fat Joe winning that Verzuz, y'all. I like that. Listen, Ja Rule is from Queens. Y'all know I'm Team New York. I'm Team Queens. But I think Fat Joe did it a little bit better than Ja Rule that night, man. And this might have been the night that brought Ashanti and Nelly back together, man. Remember, they weren't talking at that time, they say. And on that Verzuz, they saw each other on the stage, and maybe that was the rekindling. Maybe that was the moment that that Ashanti and Nelly rekindled. Is Verzuz done? Is Swizz Beatz and Timbaland just pulling our legs, stringing us along? Is it done? Are we ever going to see any more Verzuz? Hip Hop 50 is going on right now. Drop in the comments, who do you want to see do a Verzuz? I'm seeing Lil' Kim versus Foxy, one of my favorites. Hold up, Jason got a list. Let me put Jason's list up. Jason got a list. Let me get Jason's list. Hold on a second. Shout out to Escape. Shout out to SWV. Let me get Jason had a list. Let me pull up Jason's list. Don't forget, yo, we got an Instagram page and we got a YouTube community page. Go check out our YouTube and drop comments there, all that stuff on our YouTube page. Jason had a comment. Let me read Jason's comment here. Thank you for sending this over, Jason. We asked, who do y'all want to see in the verses? This is Jason's comment. Jason says, Kim versus Foxy. I'm going Foxy all day. Fox Boogie Brown is harder, better anybody. I don't care if you Foxy Brown. Lloyd Banks versus Cassidy. I'm going Cassidy. Nori versus Beans. Beans, Broad Street Bully. King of Philly, all day, every day. EPMD versus Run DMC. EPMD. Shout out to the Kings of Rock. No disrespect, but I'm going with the headbanger. Long Island, shout out. Lost Boys, Warner versus Naughty by Nature. Team Queens, New York City. Well, Queens, man. Lost Boys, Southside Jamaica, Queens. LOSD, BOIZ, get up, get up, get up, get up, and clap your hands and come. I'm going Lost Boys, Jason. You crazy. Usher versus Chris Brown. I think Chris Brown's a pretty boy, man. Usher over there breaking up relationships with Keke Palmer. I'm not choosing Usher versus Chris Brown, man. I'm not going with that one, man. You know what? For the strength of Usher doing that, I'm going Chris Brown, man. Thank you for that comment, Jason. Don't forget, man, y'all can always go to our Instagram page, drop comments. Y'all can always go to our YouTube page and drop comments, man, all right? So I'm asking you guys today, is Versus done, man? Have we seen the end of Versus? Who was your favorite Versus? What Versus made you say, oh, man? Drop your top 3 verses, y'all. We got some comments. We got some comments in there. Tammy DeLeo has a comment. Tammy says, Mary J. Blige needs one, but I don't know who she can go against. Let's pause there for a second, y'all. We got to pause on this one. We got to pause on this one. I know I say all the time, that anybody can do a versus. It depends on the matchup. It depends on the venue. It depends on the song selection. I think anybody can win a versus. There's factors that factors in. The venue is very important. If you got a New York person and an LA person battling and the show is in LA, it might tip the scales to LA. Okay? That's just how it is. But when it comes to Mary J. Blige, y'all, this is like R. Kelly. I don't know who can versus R. Kelly. I think it's a losing battle however you go. Name me an R&B person that can go against R. Kelly. I don't know. Mariah Carey, Beyonce, I don't know. But R. Kelly is very hard to beat. Mary J. Blige is very hard to beat, y'all. Listen, Mary J. has been around since the early 90s. Mary J. Blige has ran around with many different crews. Bad Boy, Rockefeller. Mary J. Blige has records with many artists. Mary J. Blige has more than a couple classic albums. I've told y'all many times, Share My World saved my life, okay? When I was going through a heartbreak, I bumped Share My World back to back to back. Every checkbox you can think of, Mary J. Blige checks off. She got bars. She can do hip hop. She can do R&B. She can do soul. She can perform. She knows how to work the stage. She has a good voice for the most part. She has classic songs. She has classic albums. Everybody loves Mary J. Blige. Tell me somebody that doesn't like Mary J. Blige. Tell me a state that says, Mary J. Everybody loves Mary J. Blige. If somebody goes against Mary J. Blige, y'all got to tell me Mary J. is very, very hard to beat. Very hard to beat. I don't know if you can find a person to versus Mary J. Blige. I don't think you can. Mary J. Blige and R. Kelly are in the same boat. To me, 20 songs. Nah. Tammy, thank you for that. Tammy has another comment. Don't forget, yo, today is Tammy's birthday. Hit the chat, say happy birthday, wish her happy birthday, wish her many more, man. Tammy has another comment. Tammy says, Teddy Riley and Babyface would have been good if it wasn't for Teddy's nonsense. Okay, so Teddy Riley and Babyface. I like Teddy Riley, man. When I was coming up, I wasn't really a Babyface. Like, I liked his songs. I think he was cool. But I felt like Babyface was catering more to the ladies when I started hearing about him. Teddy Riley had more of a feel-good feel to him, more dance, and Teddy Riley can perform. I like his song. Listen, I'm going Teddy Riley, man. If Teddy Riley goes again, no disrespect to Babyface. Babyface is a god. Shout out to Babyface. Teddy Riley, all day, every day. Thank you for that, Tammy. Who is that? JK number 5 says It's a Wrap would be the last song played at a Mary J. and Mariah Carey Verzuz. I love Mariah Carey. I don't know if she can compete with Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige has the hardcore hip hop crowd too. Mariah Carey does not have the hardcore. Mariah Carey does not have a doo-doo, doo-doo, cry together, loud together, die together, I need Mariah Carey does not have that. Listen, man. Listen, y'all. Listen. Mary J. Blige has the R&B, the soul. You want to cry? You want to cry? She got that. You want to go in the club and thug it out? She got that too. Mary J. over Mariah Carey any day. Mary J. Blige. Thank you for that, JK number 5. Kevin Gregory has a comment. Kevin Gregory again says last verses was Omarion versus Mario. Thank you. JK number 5 says Swizz ex-wife took half of that 12 million. Yo, y'all are bad disrespectful, man. Oh man. Iman says the last verses was a Latin verses. Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I did remember that, Iman, that Latin verses. I ain't watched that. Blocker says 16. Can I add you on Instagram? Sure thing, man. Hit us up. 16 bars. We on Instagram. Fresh Boy RD says they have Nicki ranked too high all time, so we need to see Kim punish her. I'm Trinidadian. Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. Okay, I'm gonna put that out there early. Okay, let me put it out there early. Y'all know I'm home team, right? I'm from Jamaica, Queens. Nicki Minaj from Jamaica, Queens. Y'all know how I rock. I'm home team. I think Nicki Minaj is a pretty good artist when it comes to rapping, when it comes to big hit songs. Tell me the Nicki Minaj album. I'm gonna ask you all this. Tell me the Nicki Minaj album that's better than hardcore. Tell me a Nicki Minaj album that you can play front to end without skipping song. You can play hardcore front to end without skipping a song. Even the hardcore intro is crazy in the movie theater. Tell me a Nicki. You gotta hit the chat. I want to hear from y'all. Hit the chat. Tell me a Nicki Minaj album that's better than hardcore. Let me read that comment again from Fresh Boy RD Entertainment. Fresh Boy RD says they have Nicki ranked too high, and Fresh Boy RD is talking about that Hip Hop 50 list of the 50 best New York. I think he's talking about the 50 best New York rappers. Nicki is on that list. All time, so we need to see Kim punish her. Thank you for that, Fresh Boy ID Entertainment. Blocker says, I want to see Ice Cube versus Jay-Z. Woo! Y'all know I'm going Jay-Z easily. Again, when you're looking to put together a versus, the balance has to be there. I don't think Ice Cube has the club bangers to go against Jay-Z. Yes, Ice Cube has some iconic songs. Today was a good day. He has some classic, hardcore songs for the culture. Does he have the crossover hits to mess with a guy like Jay-Z? So Ice Cube, Jay-Z, y'all know I'm going Jay-Z all day, every day. Iman has a comment. Iman says Locks versus Dipset. That was one of the best verses. DMX versus Snoop. Rest in peace, DMX, man. I always get mad when I hear about that, man, because DMX was poised. He was about to put out his album. DMX was poised to make a great comeback, y'all, when he passed away. Rest in peace to DMX. DMX Snoop, that was also another great verses. And then Iman says Bone Thugs versus 3-6 Mafia. Another great verses. That verses had so much energy on that verses. Shout out to that verses, man. And again, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo from 3-6 Mafia, man. That was a pretty good verses. Yes, they had a fight, had an altercation, but they patched things up. But that was a very good verses as well. Thank you for that, Iman. We got Farhan in the building. Farhan says Janet Jackson probably only one. Okay. I'm not gonna question Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson has a resume, y'all. Can Janet Jackson go against Mary J. Blige? Yeah. Janet Jackson has a resume. I don't think Janet Jackson has the street songs like Mary J. But if we're talking 20 amazing songs, depending on where the venue is, I like that. Farhan. I like that. Janet Jackson. Let me know what y'all think. Janet Jackson versus Mary J. Blige. Hit the comments. Thank you for that comment, Farhan. That was a good one. So what is going on here? Tammy says, I enjoy Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. Woo! Bobby, my boy, Bobby, man. I'm a big Bobby Brown fan. But Keith Sweat tore him up, man. Bobby Brown was a little bit over his head with that one, man. So, yo, today we're talking about verses, man. Today we're asking the question, is verses done? Did Swizz Beatz and Timbaland drop the ball? Selling verses for $25 million, $12 million each. Right now, hip-hop is celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland could have put together some verses each and every week right now, and we could be watching some hip-hop 50 artists celebrate. Is verses done? Hit the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Who is your favorite 3 verses? And who do you want to see do a verses? Give me your dream matchup, y'all. Give me a dream matchup. As much as people want to talk bad about verses changed the game, y'all. We got to see some of our favorite artists from 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Remember, verses didn't go past 2005. I think Nelly, maybe Soulja Boy was the furthest back, the furthest they went. Soulja Boy, yes. I think so, because Bow Wow's been around since the 90s. So Soulja Boy is probably the one where it cuts off. Versus was mostly late 80s artists, Slick Ricks and them, the 90s mostly, and early 2000s. So we got to see a lot of our favorite MCs do verses. A lot of our artists, a lot of our R&Bs do verses. Did Swizz Beatz and Timbaland dropped the ball by selling Verzuz? Are we missing out on some amazing concerts right now with Verzuz? I'm gonna put a few more of my favorites up here. I think this one right here, the numbers that this Verzuz did, oh my God. Wow. Wow. If you guys remember that Brandy and Monica Verzuz, man, and they showed each other love. They had great camaraderie on stage. We got some hit songs from them. Shout out to Brandy, man. Shout out to Monica. That was another one of my favorite Verzuz, yo. What is your favorite Verzuz that you watched? Do you think that Verzuz is done? Do you think we're gonna see another Verzuz? Did Swizz Beatz and Timbaland just done with it? Hit the comments. We got RB Santana in the building. RB Santana, thanks for coming through. RB Santana says Verzuz is definitely done with a check mark on it. We got Jeremiah the Prophetic in the building. Jeremiah says NWA versus Public Enemy. Wow. That's a good one. Now think about this, right? Think about what Jeremiah is saying, right? NWA, late 80s, early 90s. Public Enemy, late 80s, early 90s. Public Enemy, NWA. I like MC Ren, I like Cube. I gotta go Public Enemy, man. I like NWA as a crew, man, but Cube got some classic albums and all that. But when Chuck D gets on that stage, man, when Terminator X gets on the ones and twos, and my man, Flavor Flav, I'm going Public Enemy, man. Jeremiah, I'm going Public Enemy over NWA, man. Thank you for the comment. Fresh Boyardi says the top 50. Right. Fresh Boyardi is talking about Nicki Minaj being ranked on the top 50 best New York City rappers. She was on that list. I think they named Jay-Z number one. Shout out to Hova the God. Jeremiah says Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind and Fire. That was a pretty good Verzuz as well. I like that one. Fresh Boyardi Entertainment says Mary said F Verzuz. Listen, man, I know a lot of the artists they say in public they don't want to do a Verzuz. I know Lil' Kim says she don't want to do a Verzuz. I know Missy says she doesn't want to do a Verzuz. But let me tell you guys this, man. Let me tell you all this. The only thing these artists love more than more money is more money. Okay? If Swizz Beatz and Timbaland cut $1 million check for each of those artists, Mary J. Blige will do a Verzuz. These artists are only saying, I'm not going to do a Verzuz because the money's not right. Let's be real. Let's be real. If somebody comes to Mary J. Blige right now, if somebody goes to Missy right now, Missy, here's $1 million check. We want you in the Verzuz. You think Missy's gonna turn? You think Foxy's gonna turn down? You think Lil' Kim's gonna turn down $1 million check for one night? For an hour? An hour of work? You walk in the garden, you do 20 songs, an hour and a half, you back home for $1 million? You think they're gonna turn that down? Listen, man. Listen. A lot of these guys not doing it just because the check is not there. That's it. If you're joining the stream right now, today we're talking about Verzuz. Today we're talking about Hip Hop 50. All the celebrations we're seeing right now in Hip Hop 50. Wu-Tang Clan is out there. Nas, Fat Joe, LL Cool J, Lauryn Hill, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, MC Sham, Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent. They're all doing shows right now celebrating Hip Hop 50. Did Swizz Beatz and Timbaland drop the ball with Verzuz by not having Verzuz be a part of the Hip Hop 50 celebration. I need y'all to hit the comment section, drop a comment down below. And we got some interviews coming for you guys pretty soon, man. We're lining up some interviews with some artists. We got some young, new up and coming artists coming with some interviews for y'all. So I hope you guys enjoy those. Those are coming soon. I got a few more comments in here. We got Iman. Iman says the Game versus Nipsey would have been a good one. Rest in peace to Nipsey, man. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey had an amazing career ahead of him. Watching Nipsey do interviews, even though he was a pretty young man, it was very inspiring to see how he viewed the game. And quite frankly, Nipsey's first album, I don't use the word classics. I don't use the word classics too much because a lot of times we tend to give some albums that classic status that don't deserve classic status. But Nipsey's first album, that was close to a classic, yo. He dropped a bunch of mixtapes, some pretty solid mixtapes. Nipsey's first album, drop it in the comment. Let me know your thing. Rest in peace to Nipsey. It'll be nice, Iman, to see the Game do a versus. I know the Game is down for it. Game will definitely do a versus, all right? But y'all, hit the comment section down below. Don't forget, man, if y'all want to support the channel, y'all want to support 16 Bars, the best way to support us is to hit up our email, cop some of our merch, man. We got t-shirts on sale. We got some 16 Bars t-shirts. Check them out, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff for y'all. But y'all, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through, checking out the show. Don't forget, man, hit the chat. Happy birthday to Tammy. Go check out Tammy's Instagram page. Go follow her and go check out her show on YouTube, Full Blast Radio. Go subscribe to Full Blast Radio and go check out her content. All right. Thank you all for coming through. I'm